Hi everyone, welcome to this video on graphing basics. So to start off, every graph needs a title, axis labels, an even scale, and then some graphs will need a key. So for this graph, the background is Natalie and Emma set out to run 15 kilometers. Every 30 minutes, they checked their pedometers to determine how far they had run. Use the data below to create a line graph and answer the corresponding questions. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set up our axis labels. I think that's the best first step. And so my x-axis is always going to be the part of your data table that comes first. It's also, if time is there, it's going to be time. So that's the case for both of these factors here. So our x-axis is going to be time. In parentheses, I'll write the units, which is minutes. And then we can see the total distance run is going to be our y-axis. So I'll add that to the y-axis. And then to make our title, what we're going to do is a pretty simple format. It's just whatever your x-axis label is, whatever your y-axis label is over your x-axis. So for this, it's going to be total distance, because that's our y-axis, and then the word over time. Total distance over time. So again, the format for that is our y-axis label over x. Okay, we've got our title, we've got our axis labels. We're going to go ahead and add in our even scale. So this part can be a little bit tricky for some people. You can see for our x-axis scale, we start off here at 0. We need to get all the way up to 150. So we can go ahead and count out the number of squares we have on our graph paper to make sure that we're going to hit 150. I have set up this graph so that if we count by 5s, we will hit 150 by the end. So since our graph is pretty small, I'm going to write skipping kind of one of the lines here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, and 150. Now, what's really, really important here is that I'm counting in an even interval. So I'm counting by tens, right? I can't just count by tens and then start counting by 30s because I felt like it. I have to count by tens the entire time. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing for our y-axis. This is where people sometimes get tripped up. Because what they want to do is they want to say, okay, well, we're going to say 0, 6, 10, 12, 13, 15, because that is what they're seeing on the data table. But that's not an even scale, right? That won't make a graph that makes any sense. And so what we need to do is we need to find the highest number that we're going to plot on our y-axis. So we can see here that is 16. So we know that our scale needs to get up to 16. For simplicity, I'm going to count by ones. I could do various things. I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'll just continue counting all the way up to the top. And now we've set up our scale. So we have our title in the y over x format. We have our axis labels, including the units. So I have parentheses minutes, parentheses kilometers. Those are my units. And I have a nice even scale. I'm counting by tens on my x-axis. I'm counting by ones on my y-axis. Okay, tune into the next video to see how I'm going to plot this graph.